Alright, this is one of the projects that I saw just randomly in Buildspace, GPT-4 that asks you questions. And I was really interested in well, what questions is it going to ask me? And I got to this set, which I just love the look of. Learn anything. Feyn will ask you questions. Obviously, I didn't know that this was like a search bar input, but I saw that I could interact with it, so I just pressed enter. And the first time I did this, well, it just generated like a bunch of stuff about binary search trees. So I guess it just randomly automates a topic if you don't enter anything. I guess it defaulted to concept of gravity. And as you'll see, it's really generating a lot, right? So this is GPT-4. So it's really expensive in calculations. But it kind of sets you up to learn on a journey. So I'll test it with multiple prompts, just so you can see. And yeah. So you want to learn about the concept of gravity. Let's embark on this journey. Imagine you're walking through a beautiful orchard on a sunny day. You see apples hanging from a tree. It's really descriptive. Ripe and ready to be picked. You reach out to grab one, but just as you touch it, it falls to the ground. Why did it fall instead of moving sideways? So this is the classic, like, Newton, apple fell on his head, whatever. But and this is really cool. So it actually gives you LaTeX formulas and for gravity. So where F is the force of gravity, is equal to G times m1 m2 over r squared. And it actually gives you F is the force of gravity, m1 and m2 are the masses of the two objects. The mass 1 is the object. For example, the Earth, and m2 could be the apple, right? R is the distance between the centers, or centers of gravity, or centroids. And G is the gravitational constant on Earth. That's 9.81 or something. Congratulations. And then it gives you a question to test your understanding. So, which of the following statements is true about gravity? Gravity only affects objects on Earth. That's not true, right? Because, Jupiter has many moons that are in gravitational orbit. The Earth revolves around the sun. That's a gravitational orbit. Is a repulsive force that pushes objects away from each other? No. It's a universal force. And gravity that attracts objects with mass towards each other. Or gravity becomes stronger as the distance between objects increases. So this takes me back to school, right? There's one or two completely wrong answers, and then there's one or two answers that could be the right answer. So let's see. If gravity becomes stronger as the distance between objects increases, the distance between objects is r, and as r increases, the number should get smaller, so the force is decreasing. Obviously, the answer is 3. And then you get feedback. You are correct. And yeah. I think GPT is running out of credits or something. It's like hanging. How about let's try, but typically you get feedback. They give you a positive affirmation of why that answer is correct. And it then goes to, now that you understood this part, let's and then it's going to take you to a similar topic. Like, for example, I did this with bread the other day, and it was like, oh, first, what is bread? And then it took me to, oh, what are the different methods of making bread? And then it was like, oh, what is yeast that goes in the bread? And stuff like that. So it's kind of like learning. Okay, yeah. Hey, this is new. They added a stop. Learning methods. Learning methods. But the reason I like this app so much is because it reminds me of the best teachers in school, because you're actually learning the background behind these like topics, and it's giving you descriptive detail, and it challenges you by asking you questions. And if you get it right, you get feedback. If you get it wrong, you get feedback. And it doesn't feel like it's judging you, right? So it obviously, as an AI, it's not able to judge you unless you ask it to. But if you get it wrong, they're not like, oh, you're stupid, or this is, so obvious, right? But it's just so interesting. So like, I don't even know the answer to this because I didn't read. Which of the following methods is best suited for learning how to ride a bicycle? Now picture yourself in a library. Start with a simple observation. Not all books are created equal. Some are written in a clear, engaging style, while others are dense. Some learn best by reading, listening, doing. Recognizing these. Trial and error. Imagine you're learning how to ride a bicycle. So it takes me through the question. You read book about it, watch videos, or listen to lectures, but the best method is experiential learning. Splendid choice. Now, it's kind of good that they added the start button here, because otherwise this AI will just go on forever until you quit the page. So it'll keep generating like those long prompts and then generating a question and then stop. And then as soon as you answer the question, it generates another long prompt and then stop. So that was costing the creator, Shelwin, like $20 a day, which is really expensive. So I would be really interested in if, once someone generates, like, for example, gravity or learning methods, once someone generates this prompt once, you can save that in a database somewhere, and the next time that someone asks for this, you just pull up that. So you're trading. I guess that's kind of like a trade-off, because you need to pay for like storage space of these like generated prompts. But in the long run, I think it'll be cheaper because it costs a lot to compute and generate using GPT-4, and it's only going to get worse as demand gets higher. Or maybe like they'll find some way to make it more efficient and the cost goes down. But until then, this is like an excellent version 1. And I'll actually be trying to set up a meeting with Shelwin, the creator of this, to talk more about what went into this app. And yeah, so this is a 10-minute video, a bit longer, but I'm really interested in how this will change like the way people learn, because I have a blog post about the state of AI, and I have this whole section about, well, now that we have AI, we can generate questions and explanations for like really complex topics that, you know, people who have never done advanced math before or advanced physics before can actually learn about them and all the reasoning using AI. And as an engineering major, like I think AI is going to like accelerate engineering learning and like general technical learning in such a way that people will it will change and impact the entire industry. And this is the first example that I found that kind of does it. Of course, there are definitely like a lot of, for example, education websites. Education. Yeah, like there's a lot of like other AIs out there, but you know, I found feyn first, so I'm really interested in this, and then build space, right? Nights and weekends S3, so I can actually hit them up and not try to chase other people on Twitter. So yeah, really good job, Shelwin. I'm excited to see where this goes.